When our next guest has quite a work history. What a resume. He started as an executive assistant director at the FBI. He later went on to become an executive at a Fortune 500 company before he finally retired last year.
Well, if you keep reading down on that resume, it also says school bus driver. Yes, after seeing a local news story about a shortage of school bus drivers in Virginia, he decided he wasn't quite done working yet. The career continues. Now his days consist of transporting children with autism to and from school. And he is here now. Please welcome, fresh out of retirement, Mr. Mike Mason. Mike, it is good to see you here with us. I mean, you thought you were done working, but did you ever think if you started to work again, this would be the line of work you ended up in?
I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to do something to help in the post-pandemic recovery. There were so many folks that had to continue working right through the pandemic, and I sort of felt like there's something else I can add. There's something else I can give.
Oh, Mike, I mean, so impressed by everything you've done in your life, and I love something you've said. You said that you believe the work you're doing now is just as important as the work you were doing with the FBI. How so?
Well, absolutely. I mean, what could be more important than our education system? After all, at some point in time, I was a second grader. President Biden was a second grader. And if we didn't have teachers and we didn't have a good education system, we couldn't rise to do the things that we've done. So I think there's nothing more important than our education system.
More important, how about more stressful? FBI and Fortune 500. You got to drive kids to school now. How does the stress compare in all these jobs?
Well, I told one of my coworkers, I used to think being on a SWAT team was stressful. There are days on my bus when my bus is a cacophony of noise and chaos that I think that's a little bit stressful as well. But I love the kids, and I'm learning something from them every day. I'm trying to learn their language. What makes them happy? What makes them sad? You know, so it's a wonderful, wonderful job.
And Mike, I want to point out to our viewers, you have already donated all the money you're expecting to make as a bus driver to local charities. And you are such a living example of being just the consummate member of a community and giving back in so many beautiful ways. Why do you do what you do?
Well, because so many, I'm paying homage to the people that did this thing for me. I'm just paying forward all the good fortune that I've been benefited from across my life. So I've had coaches, teachers, mentors, people who nudged me a little bit extra, people who were part of my network, part of my board of directors, if you will. And so now I'm paying it forward. And I'm grateful that I was able to donate my salary to a number of different charities. So I don't say that bragging about it, but rather grateful for how life has benefited me.
And Mike, we've had stories and we have people on the show talking about this. There's a severe shortage of school bus drivers across the country, and a number of people have been stepping up. But you don't just walk in and say, hey, I'd like to be a bus driver, and they toss you the keys and your bus is out there in the parking lot. You had to go through and help us understand a little bit what you had to go through and what the training was like to be able to then get the keys to drive a school bus.
Well, you know, it's kind of funny, TJ. A lot of my friends were telling me, Michael, you're going to be the most overqualified bus driver ever. And I said, no, I'm not even a qualified bus driver yet. And so I went through about 3 weeks of training that stretched out over a couple of months because of shortages in staffing and things like that. But yeah, you had to go, and I had to get my commercial driver's license. And so I had to pass through a number of hoops to be able to get on the bus.
Michael Mason, we are truly honored to have you on the show. We hope we can have told your story, maybe inspired someone else to do the same, but we want to honor you and thank you for all that you continue to do for your community.
Well, thank you very much for having me on, and I hope if nothing else, it does inspire a few people to get out of that rocking chair and realize you still have a lot of gas in the tank and a lot to offer.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, Mike, you can come back anytime. You know, that was just the perfect interview, perfect story. And look, he's not just stepped up, and then all the money's going to charity as well, and then he's got the great smile, and then he's just perfect and everything. And remember Mark Messier?
That's right.
Had on, he said, you don't have to motivate people with your words. Just inspire them, and they will motivate themselves. That is an inspiration.
Ooh, that is an understatement. That is a life of service, too, with everything he's done. Blown away by that.
If you can't tell, we like Mike.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, hey. Hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.